Welcome back to The Price of Business. I'm your host, Kevin Price, talking to you about you and your business. I do want to remind you of the national television show on the Biz TV network. Next couple of weeks, Chris Kidd, who is co-hosting this segment with me, he's going to be on talking about the great work he does to help transform people's lives financially. I love the work that he does, and really glad we were able to talk to our national TV audience about it. But I also love the great interviews you do every single week on this program. And this week's sounds like another excellent one. But before you introduce our guests, why don't you tell us a little bit more about what you do, Chris, and then get straight to our guest today.
Like we've discussed before, I'm a financial coach, and basically, my whole mission is to help people solve financial issues, whether that means learning to handle their personal finances better, getting out of debt, or learning to build wealth, or really a lot of times it's a combination of those, and understanding how to invest their money rather than just kind of playing on the hope strategy. I've got a great guest today, too. I've got the head coach of the #1 high school football program in not just the state, but the nation. Coach Gary Joseph from Katy High School, not only winning state this year and being the #1 national ranked team, but he was also inducted into the high school Hall of Fame at the at the same time. So
that's amazing.
What was the best part of that Saturday, Coach?
No doubt, the best part of Saturday was being able to win the ball game. Something that we worked for, all year, and our kids, after having lost two games in the last 2 years, for them to win and see the elation in their face was just an awful feeling.
Yeah, and you know what? That reflects why you ended up being inducted in the Hall of Fame. It's that attitude. You don't get inducted into the Hall of Fame of any team sport thing unless you're thinking about thinking about the team. And it's that attitude, I'm sure, that played a huge part. Chris?
Well, Coach Joseph, you guys have an amazing just standard and tradition of excellence over there. How was that created? And, I mean, it's like y'all haven't had a losing season, I believe, since 1985, and if I'm correct on that. And it seems like it's just an expectation now that Katy's going to be in state, or at least making a run for it every year. How did that come about? How did y'all build that?
Coach, it took a lot of hard work, and Mike Johnson was the head coach here, and before, I was the defensive coordinator, and I'd been here for 34 years, and it wasn't something that was built overnight. It was, we had to take our lumps and things, and it had to, it's something that it just took a lot of patience more than anything else, and we were like, we were the dormant of the district for a long time, and then the kid just, once we started getting a little bit better facilities, and we cycled through 4 years, kids coming through the program, and the fourth year you could see the expectations turning and things, and we were 4-6, and then the next year we followed up by going 10-0, and the kids then were starting to believe they could win, and we finally went to the state championship. We won our first playoff game in 1989 and stuff, and then in '94 we went to our first state championship game, and from then it's just it's just gotten bigger and bigger.
Yeah, that's fantastic. By the way, I was talking to Chris just before we began this segment that I had Coach Johnson as a high school history teacher in Abilene, Texas, and
wow.
that kind of shows you how far back Coach Johnson goes.
Yep.
Because I'm not a young man anymore. I keep telling people I am, but I'm not. So he's a super nice guy, an incredible professional.
Well, Coach, I'm asking one of these questions that I feel like I kind of know the answer to already after being out there the other day, and it blew my mind seeing all these guys out there practicing, running routes, on their own, working out in the weight room after they've just won a state championship. They're not taking time to relax or anything, but what's one of those things that keeps that competitive edge and the hunger and the drive after they've had so many continuous great seasons to keep on going?
The first thing that you saw when you walked into our field house was the trophies in the trophy case. And when people walk in there, and our kids understand, the expectations have gone way up. And they don't want to be the group that takes this thing backwards. And I hate to say fear is a motivator, but I think just the high expectations that come along with where the program is at has really helped motivate it too, and it helps the kids motivation-wise every day. And, the ones that were there, at the ball game understand what it took to get there, and they're trying to get the other ones to understand so they can keep it at a high level.
So what do you feel like the prospects are for 2016?
Oh, it's going to be different. This past group that we had this past year, we had a lot of these kids. 8 of them started as sophomores, so they were 8 of the kids that started when the last 2 state championship games, which we had lost and things, and they were highly motivated. I think these kids, they got a lot of work to do. They got a lot of growing up to do. But I told them, the first thing I told them when we got back, the expectations haven't gone down. It's about the next man up, and we'll see. I don't know, exactly how we're going to be, but I know that if past history tells us anything, that we'll be in the hunt and at the end of the season.
Yep. And by the way, I notice you have a Twitter account. Is that the best way to learn more and to keep up with what you guys are doing? That Twitter account being Katy Football?
Yeah, that's not my account and stuff, but we do have a Katy Football account now. We have other people that run the thing and stuff. I have one that one of the kids or people created for me. I don't even know how to use it, but I mean, yeah.
We better keep an eye on what they're saying about you. Hey, we got to wrap it up with that. About 30 seconds left. Chris Kidd?
Well, I know, there's a lot that you can learn about, life in general, growing up around sports and everything, and, being a son of a coach myself. So I think that it's phenomenal what you guys are doing there, and you certainly built a great winning tradition, and I think that what you guys are doing with the group over there is just amazing. So congratulations, and we're looking forward to seeing more.
Yeah, and I do want to ask you as well. You've been doing this now, as you said, for decades. This isn't new for you. What is it about it? What is it about it? You're in a field that you are super flying high today, and you're unemployed tomorrow, or looking at a much worse circumstance, coaching wise. It's incredibly competitive. In some ways, more so than even the pros. I don't think anything's more competitive than college coaching, in my opinion. I could be wrong, but talk about that. What drives you? What keeps you going this many decades?
It's about the kids, and I think that, if you don't enjoy kids, and it's kind of like any other business you go into, you have to enjoy the people you work with, and you have to sit there and set goals and set standards for yourself. And I think that as long as we have kids here that are willing to work and have parents here that are willing to let us coach your kids, because that's not like that in every place in the United States and stuff. They let us coach their kids and have confidence in us that we're going to take care of their kids as we coach them and things. Then it makes it fun. It makes it enjoyable to come to work every day.
Coach Gary Joseph, Katy Tigers head coach, thanks so much for being with us. And, of course, Chris Kidd, he's a regular. He's bringing great stories like this. And I'm looking forward to future stories about how these young people progress through college and what happens to their careers in the future. That'll be something we'll be working on as well. And Chris can be reached at chriskidd, KIDD.com. All right, when we come back, we're going to have more for you. I do want to remind you, best content here, it shows up over there at USAToReview.com. And this is The Price of Business.
And she showed